Hey everyone. Welcome in, welcome in. How's everyone doing today? Nisha, I have a no for that one. I have the tower. Nausea, yes. Ace of Pentacles. Abstain, yes. Knight of Wands. Svetlana, no. Four of Swords. Taurus, yes. Eight of Wands. You're welcome. You're welcome. Sisters, I have yes. Temperance. This might be a week of like a lot of peace for you. A lot of like calm, serenity, being at peace, peace of mind, that kind of thing. Cindy, yes. Four of Wands. Hey, IJ, welcome in. Maston, yes. King of Cups. Submit, yes. Four of Pentacles. You're welcome. IJ, yes. Queen of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. You're welcome. Hi, Mariana. Yes, Mariana, Six of Pentacles. You're welcome. Just a few minutes left of the free list, and then we're moving on to donations. Donations are currently open right now. We have a couple people on the list at this time. If you have any questions about pricing, check the description or you can ask me. We are going to get started on those donations very soon. Zhao, I am getting a yes. King of Wands. James, I have a note right now. 8 of Swords. Diana, yes. Strength. Zhao, I already answered your first question. So if you missed it, just scroll back on the video a little bit. Margaret, no. 4 of Swords. Happy Saturday. Just a reminder for those of you who are hanging out, this is my last day that I'll be here this week. I'm taking a long weekend for personal reasons, so you will not see me till the middle to end of next week. If you want a reading with me, make sure you're getting that in tonight during this live stream. Morning. Yes. King of Pentacles. Eagle, yes. Three of Cups. MMC. I feel like this is a yes. I have the Fool, but I also pulled Temperance, so I think that they're not really going to take much action about this. But I think that underneath it all, they are upset. Yes. Torrent, I'll answer this for you real quick, but the list is closed, so anybody else, you'll have to wait until I'm back next time. Torrent, I'm leaning towards a no. I have the Tower here. I don't think that that's going to happen. Either that or it's not going to happen soon. You're welcome. You're welcome, everyone. We're done with the free list, okay? We're moving on to donations. Give me 1 second. James, I'm going to get started on yours in just a minute. All right. James, let's get started on yours. We'll do channel messages first. Unless you prefer something different, let me know. Hey, Smiley, welcome in. Channel messages, love to versus good. Okay, that sounds good. Hey, everyone, if you're just joining us, free list is closed. Free list is closed. But we are doing donations. I'm so sorry, James. There's something weird happening on my phone. Give me 1 second. All right, so Jao, you are responding to me on a donation that you made back in February, and you're asking me to do a free reading for you when I already did a free reading for you. So if you want to donate now, you can, but I'm going to need you to stop asking me. Thank you very much. I just need you to send me a donation because I don't want to keep doing this back and forth. Um, so give me just a second and I will add you to the list. For the amount that you sent, I can do a yes no question. So give me just a minute. I have to get through these other donations first and then I can answer your question. So you'll have to wait, okay? All right. All right. Working on a channeled message for James. Jao, the new donation came in very recently. I added you to the list. I have your question saved, but you'll have to wait until it's your turn for me to answer it, okay? Thank you. Smiley, I got your donation. I'll put you after Jao, okay? Hey, James, I'm about halfway done with yours now, okay? Thanks, James. I got it. All right, James. So again, it's taking me a little bit longer to get these messages from her. I love doing them for you, and I don't mind it, but I'm just letting you know right now, like I think that at a certain point, maybe we just shouldn't do them every day right now or something. Um, and like if that's what you want, I'm gonna do it. You know, you're paying me for a service, but I feel like I am getting new information for you. Don't get me wrong. I think that what I'm about to send to you might be a little enlightening for you, and I think it's worth hearing. But I think because it's taking so long to connect to her energy, for me, it feels like she's shutting down. And moving forward, like I don't know how much she's going to have to give every single day. Like if I'm going to be able to pull what I need to for your connection. Um so like maybe this is could just go down to like a couple times a week rather than like every day. But again, if you want me to do it and you want me to try, I will. I'm just letting you know in advance what I'm feeling. So I just sent it to you, and she says, I feel like you are wondering why the sudden change. Like, what happened because I have been so quiet. The truth is everything and nothing at all. I just kind of realized I don't want to have it all figured out right now. You had all of these big plans, and I realized that I was going along with things. But I was more so catering to what you wanted because I wasn't prepared to cut things off. I really did want to see it through, but at a certain point it hit me. This all became too much. I knew if I talked to you about it, you would just try to get answers out of me or change my mind, and that's not what I wanted to happen. You think I'm right? Okay. I'm glad we're on the same page. So you should have your message. I just read it to you. And we're going to move on to your love option two. All right, love option two for James. So, one thing I really want to highlight in this reading is that the death card is here again, and that is one of the cards that I pulled when I was doing your channeling. So, I think number one, that's to say no blocks or influences, like no new ones. But I think that it's indicating that for her, she is going through like some type of transitional period. Um, like everything in her life right now, just I feel like there's like a time before and then a time after, and I don't really know how to explain that, but I feel like she feels different. I feel like she's looking at things differently. I think of course she's still on this path of like figuring herself out. Um yeah, James, it is interesting that she said that. Actually, like as I was channeling it, I was like, this is kind of weird because he's gonna say that he was always catering to her and being sensitive to her. Like I kind of already knew that you were gonna say something like that. Um and I suppose in that reading, she was saying that she was going along with what you wanted. So if you were like inviting her places, or if you guys were hanging out or spending time together, she was like, let's just go along with this, like, and just see what happens. And I think maybe along the way, she figured out that you guys were in two different places, maybe. When she says cut things off, the impression I got was she wasn't ready to end this with you. Like, she was just going along with things because she didn't want to like cut you out of her life. But I think that maybe things were just becoming too intense or too real. And I think that it just kind of hit her that like you guys are heading in different directions. Or maybe she finally had an epiphany about what she wanted and it was different than what you wanted. That's really all I can decipher from that. Um, but yeah, so it definitely feels like she's kind of just different. She feels different. It's like she's doing different things. And I think it's more so mental, I will say. It's all like within herself. Like, I don't think her life on the outside looks much different. Like, I don't think people are going, wow, Patty, you really changed. But I think that internally, she just feels like she's just different. Um, and so she's kind of going through this, like, I don't know what she's doing. I don't, like I said, I don't really know how to explain it. All I can say is it's the death card and it indicates that there's a change going on within her internally. Um the other thing I want to point out is the tower. So there is the tower here in terms of her feelings. That makes me feel like she's very unstable. It makes me feel like she's here for the chaos. I've used this word before for her, and it could be the case again where she's going through some type of regression, and kind of like going back into like a danger zone, a place where she shouldn't really be, that we had hoped she grew from, but maybe she just hasn't learned the lessons yet. Yeah, so like, hold on, let me go back to the message because let me see. Um, So like she was saying I was going along with things because but I was more so catering to what you wanted because I wasn't prepared to cut things off. And maybe it should say yet after that cuz that's what she was saying. She's like I wasn't at that time I was kind of going along with things because I wasn't prepared to cut you off yet. This was the before. I hope that's making sense now. This is when she says I wasn't prepared to cut things off yet. This is she's talking about when you guys were still in communication, like back in like May, June. She was going along with things because she wasn't ready yet to cut things off. She, I guess, was still trying to figure out her feelings about it, her feelings about you. She was kind of just going through the motions is what it sounds like. She said, I really did want to see it through, but at a certain point, and I think that point is when she stopped talking to you, this became too much. And she said she knew if she didn't ghost you, if she actually tried to talk to you, she says, you would just try to get answers out of her or maybe change her mind. And that's not what she wanted to happen. So then she felt, okay, well, now that I know kind of what I want, if I communicate, not that this is right, not that this is excusable, but she was saying that if she were to talk to you before, and not ghost you, not go quiet, not just completely ignore you, if she were to actually try to tell you, if she were to actually say like, hey James, like I'm not feeling this, I just like this isn't what I want right now, I need some time apart from you. She was worried that you would be like, why? Tell me why. Like, give me answers. Or like try to change her mind or try to be like, I don't know, try to be like, well, you know, I'm not putting pressure on you. Like, we can just hang out. Like, I feel like she just didn't want any kind of like resistance against this decision. And I think she felt that if she had communicated it with you then like beforehand, not that I'm condoning this behavior, but Chaz, I do feel she owed you that, but I think that from her perspective, that's what she was worried would happen. So hopefully that's making a little more sense in terms of like what it means. It might not make sense to you in terms of like you don't agree with this. That's fine. But in terms of like how she was saying it, I hope that's making more sense. But yeah, so back to your love too. So with the tower here, it's indicating like very heightened emotions right now, very unstable energy in terms of her feelings. She's keeping her thoughts to herself. Here. I don't think, James, that she's pursuing you. We have the Wheel of Fortune, obviously, but I also don't think she's completely writing you off. I just think that she's saying that if it ever is something with James, like it's going to be a long time from now and it's going to happen when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen. And I think for her, it's just not priority. And it's also like not something that she's actively pursuing. So I think because you're not a priority for her, that's something that is probably upsetting to hear, but also I think it's important to hear because what she's saying is nobody really knows what the future is going to hold. And maybe one day I'll be at a point where James is it for me, but I don't know that. I don't necessarily think that, and I'm not forcing it. So whatever will be, will be. And I really think she's not stressing it or you right now. She's kind of just like doing her own thing. And I think also it speaks volumes as well that she's not. I feel because she's willing to lose you, I feel like that should speak a lot of volumes to, or like volumes to you, that she's like, whatever will be, will be. It's not my priority right now. And if I lose James in the process, then so be it. Like, that's kind of what it feels like to me. So that makes me feel like there's not enough fight in her to like keep you guys together. And I feel like if it were me, I don't think I'd want to be with someone like that. I would want someone to know that I'm what they want and go for it. And it would really make me feel insecure, which is not a feeling I want to have. So yeah, I definitely agree, James. I think that it's worth a conversation for you, but being where you've been before, obviously it's not the same situation, but I've definitely been in situations where people didn't have the respect to say it to my face. We have to like find our own closure, and that sucks. And it's hard. It really is hard, but the only thing that I can suggest is like there's so much empowerment and so much irresistibility that comes from putting yourself first. And even if you have to hate that person, even if you have to have anger towards that person, whatever you need to like come to grips with the fact that like you might be moving forward without them, um it's so empowering, like to just put that love and focus back onto yourself. um and it's hard, but look, I'm a success story, so I've been there many, many times. And I feel like people who feel like less than, or they look at themselves as less than or undesirable or undeserving of some like your love, James, or like my love or someone's love, it's because they think less of themselves. Not that they think less of us, it's just that they think less of themselves. So yeah, where am I? Okay, so intentions, we kind of already covered this, but just to reiterate, the Temperance card is saying that she's like, I'm not forcing it, I'm not stressing it, I'm not actively pursuing it with James, like, I'm just taking my time. And then the overall energy we have is the Five of Swords. This is the card of conflict. It's saying that the energy around your connection right now is essentially feeling defeated or walking away. The need to surrender, that she might be self-sabotaging or self-sacrificing, and you may be just giving in to the facts, but feeling like, I don't know, there's people out there that talk about they want to win the breakup. But I think putting that focus back onto yourself is important. And I definitely agree. She should be more direct with you. She should suffer through like the discomfort of your questions and stuff like that. But if you feel like you're owed an explanation, obviously she did something to make you feel that way, and she should step up and give you an explanation, even if it's something you don't want to hear. She should have confronted that. But like you said, it just shows that she was weak at that time. She didn't care enough to have that conversation with you. She didn't respect you enough to have that conversation. She was more so focused on herself and what she needed, what she wanted. All right. Romantic future for Patty and James. She still has not communicated with you. I think the hard part about Patty is that she didn't know what she wanted until she did. And while she didn't know, she was leading you on. And then when she figured it out, then she kind of just left you in the dust. And you became collateral damage. Mm. Okay. So there really isn't 3 weeks tomorrow. Jeez. I thought it was longer than that actually, but that's still a long time. So I'm not seeing a lot of romance. I have the Queen of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Page of Wands, the Moon, Six of Wands, the Three of Cups, and Ace of Wands and the Sun. So I feel like this is more colleague, acquaintance, friends kind of thing. Group settings. It doesn't feel super romantic. I think it's important, you know, James, she doesn't hate you. You might hate her, but she doesn't hate you. It's just that I don't think she has enough, like, romantic feelings for this connection right now. And I think it's very possible that a lot of people in her life have felt this way. That she tends to make people think that she's more interested than she thinks that she is, or whatever, or she comes across. Not that that is here to make you feel better, but I think that she's saying anything is really up for grabs. Anything is, it's like you guys are literally walking away from this with a very open-ended story. And I think that, like, anything can happen. I think anything is possible for you guys. The current energy is showing that there's still a lot of secrets. There's still a lot of misconceptions, vagueness, I guess. You know, insecurity, subconscious issues, things like that that's going on here. It's like things that you guys haven't been like fully open and honest with each other about. The moon here just indicates that there's still a lot hidden when it comes to your connection and the future of your romantic connection. I don't think that Patty's completely like closed the door on you, but you're just like, I don't think it's a huge percentage of, oh yeah, like we're going to end up together from her perspective. I think that she's just kind of like, no, it's not out of the question, but it's just not for me right now. And never say never, like one of those things. But I think it's just a very small percentage. I think she's looking at you more as like the friendship category right now. There's literally nothing here of, oh, and like a creative partner, like a creative partner, like you guys do something together, like a project or something, because there's like the Ace of Wands here, which kind of talks about like creative projects, but just someone to kind of have fun with, joke around with, be in company with. But I don't really get, I don't have a single romance card here at this time. So I think she's saying never say never. I think Spirit's kind of like showing me that she's not shutting the door on you for good, but she is kind of backing out. So I would say that there's not a lot of energy here indicating a romance for your future at this time. And you have every right to say no to that. You have every right to say no. That's not what I want. I want more than that. Like, it's all or nothing. And that's your free will. That's your ability to make that decision. But you never know, James. Like, she could change her mind. It's just, it might be too late. I think that's something that we've always said when it comes to your connection. Philomena, I have your question. Thank you. All right. Current feelings and intentions. Are you sure you want to keep that question, James? 'Cause I feel like I've answered that question already. I'll give you the opportunity to change your second question, but if you really want me to look further into that, then I will. Okay, that sounds good. So shuffling now for you. Patty's current feelings for James. So one thing that I'm hearing, James, is that Patty's never had an intention of changing you. Like, she never wanted you to be different. She never wanted you to fit the mold. Like, she never wanted you to sacrifice your beliefs or your values or what makes you feel like, you know, makes you who you are to appease her. I also feel like she definitely she's saying kind of like, I never asked for him to do anything for me. Now, did she appreciate it? Did she appreciate the things that you did do for her? Did she feel like, you were treating her very special, and did she like that? Yes, of course. But I feel like she's really trying to wash herself away of like any kind of a responsibility or accountability, potentially maybe to make herself feel better. But she's like, I never did anything to like, I never wanted him to change. I never asked him to do anything for me, yada, yada, yada. Now, I think she had expectations for you. I think that she got used to a certain type of treatment that she got from you. And I think that was definitely something that she knew and was fully aware of and potentially took advantage of. But I think that her being like, I didn't ask him to do anything for me, it makes me feel like she's saying, like, I don't need to be held accountable if he took things the wrong way or if he got the wrong impression. And that's, in my opinion, not true. It's not correct. Because I feel like you still accepted the treatment that he was giving you. You still, what is it called? You were accommodated to a certain lifestyle with him, like the way that he treated you. And I think that's just her way of trying to brush off the guilt that she may be feeling. But she is also saying in that there is like a nugget, a little treasure. She's trying to say that she never wanted you to be something that you're not. So clearly, monogamy and committed relationships between you and her was your priority. You didn't want anyone else around. You didn't want a polyamorous relationship. You probably didn't want an open relationship. This was your belief. This was your desire. Potentially because you wanted to just be with Patty and just you and Patty, and that was it. And you didn't want, and that's valid. That's totally valid. But I think for her with the Hierophant in reverse, she's saying, well, that's not how I think. I challenge tradition and I am considering an unconventional lifestyle with potentially unconventional relationships. I don't like gender norms. I don't like traditional roles. Like I don't mind like reversing those or living different. I just don't want to conform. But James is clearly very adamant about a committed monogamous relationship, and I just don't know if that's for me. So I think that for her, she kind of felt like you wanted something from her that she didn't know if that was the kind of lifestyle that she wanted, but she's saying, I never tried to change him. I never tried to make him be something that he's not. I understood that that's what he wanted and that's what felt natural to him. And I never wanted him to change that for me. And I knew that at some point, one of us would be unhappy because either he's fully happy because it's just me and him and no one else, or like I'm and like he's happy and I'm not, or I'm asking him to do something out of his comfort zone. That makes sense, James. And here's the thing, I think also Patty is still on the road of self-discovery, and I think that's a big thing that has come through in the last couple of weeks. She has told you she didn't want a relationship. She never like gave you an impression that like from my understanding, she never gave you an impression that like she was going to be in a committed relationship with you. It seemed to be working towards that direction, but it didn't ever seem like she outright said, yes, James, I want to be in a relationship with you. I think more than anything, she said, no, a relationship is not for me. So I think that from her, she's on this place of self-discovery, and it's probably valid that she didn't know for sure at that time. I think that it was one of those things that she was just kind of feeling things out as they were going along. I think she's currently doing more discovery within herself to figure out what it is that she wants. That should have been something that was communicated with you, but to be fair, she probably didn't know like fully. And maybe recently she's looking more into that, or maybe she's just saying, you know what, I don't want to have an answer right now. I don't want to have it all figured out. I could potentially want a monogamous relationship. I could want a poly relationship. I could want an open relationship. I could like not want a relationship at all. I feel like for her, she's just like, it's valid for me to not know, and it's valid for me to try, like, want to figure this out. And I think, James, knowing kind of you a little bit, knowing your personality, I don't think you would have accepted anything outside of a monogamous relationship. And if I'm wrong, I do apologize, but it seems to be that you just, and here's the thing, I am in a monogamous committed relationship with my husband. It's just me and him, and we don't do anything else. Like, and I'm fully fulfilled and satisfied. And I feel like he is too. And there is absolutely nothing wrong. And that's the thing, is I think she just didn't want to change you. She kind of knew who you were, knew what it was. You, I don't know. And you don't have to tell me, but if you ever talked to her about like exploring other options or whatever, maybe that's something that she would have taken under consideration. And maybe that, if that is something you talked about, maybe why she kept the connection going for as long as she did. I don't know. But it seems like to me she was just saying, I didn't want to change you and I didn't want to be changed. And that's kind of where she's like feeling and thinking. And I think that is why things kind of felt like happened the way that they did, or maybe part of it. I think she's still trying to get to know herself. I think she's still trying to figure out, you know, what is me and what is how I was raised and what is what I want. And I think that on someone's journey, it is okay for them to not know. That's why there's like a questioning part in like your fluidity. Like, for her to go, I don't know what kind of relationship I'm looking for, if I'm looking for a relationship, but I think that I deserve the time to figure that out without feeling the pressure from someone else. And I think in terms of like her intentions here is we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Four of Swords. So I think that you could probably expect a lot more silence from her. The Four of Wands is in reverse. It says her intentions are to postpone or cancel reunions. It says that she's going through a pause to relax, like essentially kind of do her own thing. Let me think. And no one is saying like she's doing this the wrong way. Like no one is saying or doing this the right way. Like I want to be clear as a reader. I'm a neutral observer. And I too lean a little more biased to the person I'm reading for because I can put myself in that situation and understand like how shitty that is. But I am also trying to understand her perspective. And I think that the actions and way that she's gone about things has not been right. But I also believe in the phrase of I did the best that I could with the knowledge that I had. And if I could go back now and change it, would I? But I didn't know that at the time, or I didn't understand it at the time. And I did my best with the information that I had. So I feel like for her, she's saying she is trying to avoid some accountability because I think that she's trying to say, like, I made the choices that I made because I felt like that was best in the moment. And it might be wrong, but that's what I felt needed to happen. And that's what I felt needed to do. I needed to do. I truthfully, James, don't feel like she's here to have any intention of like healing, like working on herself, nothing like that. She's truly here to just say, I'm figuring shit out as I go along, and that's all I can say. Yeah, I know. I think the hardest lesson in life, or like one of them, is realizing that we expect out of other people what we know and we expect out of ourselves. So if we know that we're a very giving, generous person, that if someone's in trouble, we'll drop everything to go be there and help them. It hurts when we expect other people to do the same for us and realize that they're not going to do that. That is a shitty fucking lesson to realize that we are not the same people. That how I was raised, what I was taught, what I do for others, I cannot expect other people to. It's great when they are, it's great when they do that, but I can't expect it out of other people. And that is a hard lesson. If you are consistent and you make promises and you are available and you follow through and you are generous, you think everyone's like that. You expect other people to be that way with you if you are that way. But that's not the reality. Not everyone's going to be like that. That is a difficult lesson. And that is why I tell people that if you're going to give people money, don't expect it in return. If you are going to do something nice for someone, don't expect a thank you. If you are going to ask someone to do something for you and they say no, respect that boundary. Like, because people have their own shit going on and they weren't necessarily raised like you. They don't necessarily think like you. And you deserve better than that, James. But what I can tell you about that is that there are people like you out there. Just as much as there are people who are not like you, there are people out there that are like you, that will have the same consideration and the same courtesy that you give and the same love that you give. I don't know if you're going to find it with Patty. Signs aren't really pointing to that right now. And I remember telling you maybe a week or two ago that the next 4 months are very, very turbulent for you guys. So I think that is just a waiting game. I think that you can check in particularly with her, maybe, towards the end of this year. But I don't really see much changing for you guys right now. So, James, that's what I have for you. I'm going to move on to Philomena. Philomena, when do you see a serious committed relationship coming in? So Philomena, I have you down for an in-depth reading. So let me pull your cards really quickly. When do you see a serious committed relationship coming in? Okay, so they are showing me February to March of next year during Pisces season 2025 is what I'm getting. You're welcome, James. Let me see. What else can you tell me about this connection? You do have a lot of Virgo energy in this reading. Virgo and Leo energy. Philomena, what's your sun sign? Let me know. This person could be a Virgo. That could be why it's coming through potentially. What can you tell me about this person? You're Sag. Right, I think I remember that. I think you told me that before. Sag and Virgo. I think you guys get along well enough. I'm not saying that this person's a Virgo. I'm just saying like there is Virgo energy here. Like heavy Virgo. We have the Hermit, the Queen of Pentacles, and then a couple other cards here that signify Virgo energy. So, what can you tell me about this connection? What will she think of them when they first meet? What will she think of them when they first meet? Ah! Okay, so, well, what will he think of her when they first meet? What will he think of her? I think you're going to be very attracted to this person, Philomena. I think you're going to have a heavy interest in them, but I think you're going to be guarded, like super, super guarded. I think you're going to be hesitant. You're not going to be sure. You, Philomena, give off, like, with this person, a very cynical energy. So you're kind of skeptical, cautious, hesitant. I think internally you're kind of like, wow, like I really like this person, but I think you're not showing your cards right off the bat, and I think that they're seeing that, they're understanding that. I think they find you to be very beautiful. I think that they're looking at you as someone very positive in their life, someone that they enjoy being around and spending time with. They feel like from what they know when they first see you or when they first talk to you that you guys potentially could have a lot in common or seem very similar. The Hierophant talks about like traditions, like the way that we're raised, our cultures, our belief systems and values, things like that. I feel like he's kind of looking at you as like kind of being birds of a feather, you know, like very similar in nature or somewhat like having an understanding of one another right off the bat. What does he think when he first sees her? He said, "Oh, this girl's going to break my heart." That's what he says. But I think that it's kind of joking. He might have a really good sense of humor. I think he would say maybe to his friends, "I'm going to marry that girl." Like, I think that's what he's feeling. But I think that your energy towards him, even though deep down you feel very much attracted and into this person, I think because you're not showing your cards, he isn't really sure. He can't get a read on you, and he can't get a read on like how you feel. But I think that he would tell people, "I'm going to marry that girl." Or he might even tell you that because he seems to have a really good sense of humor. All right, let's ask. Where are they going to meet? Where are they going to meet? All right, they're saying out and about in public. I feel like I'm seeing flowers around. This feels like it's outdoors. There are other people around the two of you. Where are they going to meet? Where are they going to meet? Do you do anything for like personal health, like emotional, mental, or physical health? Like, do you go to any classes or like outdoor classes? Maybe roses or like some type of flower is like significant to your connection. Maybe the outdoors part of it I'm misreading, but I have here like going somewhere that's going to be good for you and your mental health. So it could be like a spiritual retreat, it could be a yoga class, it could be some type of like physical, like workout class, it could be um I'm thinking like some type of metaphysical place or some type of, I mean, it could even be something like therapy. Like, I'm kind of getting where it's essentially like a well-being, a place of well-being, a place of where you're trying to get mental, emotional, physical, well, like overall well-being, health. It could be like an apothecary store, holistic place, but I'm getting more that it has to do with your health in general. So I think it could be like a gym, it could be a workout, like all the things that I have said. I'm just trying to think of different examples, but I think it caters to health specifically, whether that be mental, spiritual, emotional, physical, or all of it together. It's something like that. So Philomena, what's going to be really important around this time, end of this year, early next year, I would start looking into something like that. Or if you're invited, like randomly go on this thing. If a friend is like, hey, I'm going to this workout class, would you want to come? I think keeping your options open and allowing yourself to explore other things like this would be really good for you. The only other thing, because I'm for some reason spirit put this thought in my head, is that if it's not something like you're physically going to, it could be some type of hub. And what I mean by that is like a online health and wellness like group or page or something along those lines. So if you're not meeting in person, it could be someone that kind of catches your eye via the internet. But yeah, that's what I'm getting. Let me shuffle. Okay, so this is for Joe. Joe, give me a minute because I'm trying to reshuffle and get your reading set up here. Where's my phone? Joe, if you're in here, feel free to check in with me. Let me know. All right, Jal, this is for you. You donated for a yes/no reading, so I'm shuffling for you now and we'll let you know. Smiley, you are next. If you would like to post your question here, feel free to do so. Zhao, I am getting a no. I have the 10 of Wands here. This indicates to me that you guys are, that she may be feeling overwhelmed or that you're very stressed over the situation. That's kind of the energy. But in terms of, is there anything romantic or sexual happening between you two in 2 weeks? This is a no for me. I see here that her energy is basically, she's just kind of indifferent. I don't really see her taking any action towards you right now. This might be something that you have to just kind of let go of temporarily. Maybe she'll come back around, but right now it seems like she's not, I guess, interested. So I would just respect, like, unfortunately, what she has said to you, even though you feel you've not done anything wrong. I think that this is really all you can do right now. So I don't think this is going to happen, at least not in this time frame. Hey, friend. I started back dreaming about my crush R. If I DM him by phone or social media, will he respond, or am I just delusional? Okay, let's check. Started back dreaming about my crush. If I DM him by phone or social media, will he respond, or am I just delusional? Okay. Will he respond? Will he respond? Yeah, Jao, that makes sense. But I think in terms of, you always have to go by the most recent form of communication. I know that it's probably very confusing for you. This like hot and cold energy is probably very confusing for you, but usually you have to just go by the most recent interaction with someone because that's going to be their most updated feelings. So I think that for now, just let this go. You can always wait and see if she'll come back around. But I think that your best move to keep the integrity of yourself and your dignity, and just your self-respect would be just to kind of back away right now. And who knows what will happen. But I think for the next couple of weeks, it'll probably be pretty quiet between the two of you. But you're very welcome. So I'm getting delusional because why am I dreaming about this man? Let's see. How will he feel if she reaches out? How will he feel if she reaches out? Okay, so Momo, they're showing me this is not This is not like, this is not it. I would not put yourself in this situation to communicate with him, because I don't think you're going to get the response that you're looking for. I think that he may respond. And personally, I think he's going to be over here happy to hear from you. I think he's going to be like, oh, she's in my DMs again. She's messaging me again. Right. But I don't want it to be like an ego trip. That's what I worry about a little bit with this person, is that it kind of like flexes his ego a bit. But like you end up feeling defeated, because if he leaves you on red, how is that going to make you feel? I see here with like the 9 of Swords and the 10 of Swords is that he's going to leave you feeling kind of conflicted, or unsure if this was the right move or the right decision. Let's see. Was this someone who was this kind of like a friends with benefit situation? Was this like a situationship with this person? Because I'm kind of picking up on that energy right now. Why is she dreaming about this person? Why is she dreaming about this person? Are these dreams coming out of... Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot about him. Do these dreams kind of come out of nowhere? I'm getting that you never really got closure from this person. And I think that's why your subconscious is still kind of leaning in his direction. Because the 2 of Swords talks about like stressful decisions, opposition, being torn between like communicating or not communicating. Like, do I stay? Do I go? That kind of thing. And I think because you never really got closure with this person, it kind of made you feel like, I don't know, it made you feel kind of like what could be. And I think because you never really got to see this through, that could be why this is in your subconscious. I do get flirty energy though. So you said because you didn't really have anything, and I was picking up on like flirty kind of sexual chemistry. That could still potentially be there between the 2 of you. But I do feel like it will make him happy to hear from you. But I don't know. I'm going to go with, I don't think he'll respond. And I think that if he does respond, I don't think it's really going to go anywhere. Or you may get your hopes up for something to happen just to be kind of like left behind again. And that's what I don't want for you. I don't doubt that he has other girls in his DMs as well. And I'm like big on, if someone wants you, they'll pursue you. So I feel like, I don't know. I'm not saying you're delusional, but I don't want you to put yourself in a situation where you're going to regret it. Like, put yourself out there and then it falls flat. You know, either you like get some responses and it seems like it's going well, only to like never hear from the person again, or just being left on red. Like, it feels like this situation is going to stress you out. So I think that if he wanted to talk to you, date you, hang with you, whatever, I think that he would be making those moves. I really do. When men know what they want, they do go for it. I promise you that. Remember I told you he looked at my snap, but I didn't respond to him at the time. Yeah, but does he reach out to you though? That's what I want to know. Has he communicated with you? Nope, he's barely on Snap. And like that's kind of where I'm coming from, is that I think it will be a failed attempt. I think that it's not going to go how you'd want it to go. And I really do think that if you were standing out to him and he wanted to pursue that, I think that he would be reaching out to you. I really do. And I also think that it's not really good to set a precedent of like you're the one taking the risks. I think that he should be the one to do those things. That's just maybe my personal like beliefs. But there's a masculine and feminine energy of the universe and within people, and I feel like a masculine energy is going to go for something, and the feminine energy is supposed to make the decisions. Is, do I want this one, do I want this one? You see it in nature, you know, you have like men fighting for women's attention. Like, it's a masculine trait to go for what they want, and I think that you should sit back and let that happen. Yeah, I think so. And obviously, Momo, you're going to end up doing whatever you feel because you have your own free will. But if you're asking me, I would say don't do it. Yeah, like he might reach out. But I think that's great, you know? Like, if he's the one to reach out, then you go for it. That's what I'm thinking, to let it happen if it will. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, so I think that you should hang back. I got for the energy is like 4 of Swords. So to me, that makes me feel like hang back. Like, don't do anything, because 4 of Swords is like the card of not taking action, just letting things happen and see what comes to you. Inner Ancestral Whispers, yes, you can donate if you like. Next on the list, we have Shayna J. Shayna J, if you're here, please check in. And Inner Ancestral Whispers, if you want to donate, you'll be next after Shayna, okay? Hey Shayna J, I have you down for a mini. What's your question? You're so welcome. Bye, Smiley. Can I get a past, present, future love spread? Yes, ma'am. Okay, so it's a past, present, future. Sorry, I said it was a mini. It's a PPF. Got it, got it. All right, love for Shayna J. Love for Shayna J. All right, Shayna. So the first thing that I'm getting is that there's a certain type of person that you have gone after before. It doesn't mean that you have a type, but if you have a type, take it. It resonates. But if it doesn't necessarily mean like you could be like, oh no, I don't really have a type. Like I've dated all kinds of people. But I think the one thing that they have in common is that they come across as a person of status. They are coming across as a person who has power. They might portray themselves as like an alpha. Um, Basically, there's something very charismatic about these individuals. And if it's a certain type, that's fine. But I get that it's like there was something like a power element to these people. Like these people of the past, they just like had that thing. And you can't really put your finger on it necessarily. It may be that like you're just very drawn to that energy, and that's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. But I think that it could have made you blinded to like the faults, the flaws, the flags, things like this, right? And I think too that the King of Pentacles energy can sometimes be people who like you might have dated someone who like had a house, had a car, had the money, and you're like, oh, these are all the things that I need. These are all the things that like I should look for in someone. But because of these things, we downplay like the way that they treat you. Um, and just because a person has like an element of having like power within them or status within them, or they're very well liked and charismatic, it doesn't mean that they have everything going for them. And it doesn't mean that they're the most compatible for you. But I feel like that's something that maybe has been something that attracted you to these people. This like it factor. Like they just had something about them that you couldn't really deny. And I'm not sure, you could probably give me a little more insight on this. Um, there's things like having a lot of money or having a good social standing, again, status, or having a lot of goals, ambitions. Maybe their status was their career, their job. Maybe they were management. Just like think of different things that would make someone a standout, that would set them apart, that may have been something that you thought would be good for you or that you were drawn to about them. Um, and this could be just naturally like what you're attracted to. Now, all of this is good, but we have to make sure that the other flaws, flags, the things that aren't working, the way that they treat us or how they handle themselves, conduct themselves, how they hold themselves accountable, that kind of thing. And it's very possible too, because I'm hearing from spirit that there may have also been like this, maybe you had a father figure and you that was like the the best example ever. This could also be another interpretation. You were constantly comparing these people to that person and being like, nope, not good enough. Nope, not good enough. So it could have been like the inverted version of that. You know how like film has like a positive and a negative side. So it could have been like the inverted version of that. Um, but yeah, so just think about that history within that like connection that you've had. You said, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that was my type, but I know what you mean. I usually go for the it guy in the group or someone with that was great on paper, but yeah, they'd end up being narcs. Yes, exactly, Shayna. So they're saying that there's nothing wrong with going for this type of guy, but we can't overlook either the things that they're not doing. So, and that's why it's so important too, is that like you can't build chemistry and a relationship off of someone who looks good on paper, because their energy and who they are is also like such a huge important factor. So there's nothing wrong with going after these type of people, like the it guy of the group, but we got to make sure that we're not overlooking their negative stuff just because we like these other parts of their personality. We want to like them as a whole. We want to make sure they have something to contribute as a whole. So that's your past. Your present seems challenging in your love life, I will say. The positive aspect of this is that there's the 10 of Wands, and 10 in numerology means the end, that it's coming to an end. So the 10 of Wands here indicated that maybe while you don't really feel like your love life is doing so hot, and that maybe it's a area of your life that you feel like is usually unfulfilled. Maybe there's other areas of your life you feel are just easier to manifest or easier to obtain, but your love life might be an area that feels more complicated and harder for you. That's kind of what you're going through right now, that you feel kind of like restricted in this love life area. But again, keeping in mind, this is coming to an end, but this is just your present. Now, your future, I'm seeing the High Priestess. So, what they're saying is that the love is here for you. It's very important to follow your inner knowledge, so that way you have the best guide when selecting a future partner. They're saying that your intuition is going to be of the utmost importance. They don't want you to give in to anyone really fast, or kind of get like ahead of yourself. You're not looking for a fuck boy, you're looking for a husband. So they're saying that is here for you, but letting your intuition be your guide is going to serve you and benefit you the most. I do have here a husband. I have the 10 of Pentacles. This is like a future family. So whatever that you want that to look like for you, whether that's a house, that you guys make into a home, kids, grandkids, or potentially just like a family around you, or if you want any animals, what is it you want your future to look like? You have that partner there with you. But Spirit is saying that if you feel off at all, if your gut is ever telling you this isn't it, they're saying you have to listen to that, because this is your lesson in life. You do have a 2 of Cups partner. You do have a long-term husband, a long-term marriage in this life. We have the 2 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. And you will get to them regardless. Like, if you have to kiss a couple more frogs before you find your prince, that's fine. But the quicker that you let your intuition guide you, the faster you're going to get to your husband, because you're not going to spend too much time in these other connections that are coming for you that aren't what you're looking for. So just be very picky, be very particular. Know that this husband is here for you, but if you want him to get here even faster, you got to sort through and filter through all the bullshit, because I do feel like there's other people coming for you that may not be the one for you. And that's okay, but just don't spend too long in that connection if you don't see it going anywhere. Do you have any questions for me? Oh, I see Shayna J. Shayna J, you have Love Continued. You donated for Love Continued. Okay. Inner Ancestral Whispers, I have you down. You will be next. I'm still working on Shayna J right now, okay? Definitely want my intuition to soar with this next person. I donate again because I've been fighting the urge to try online dating, but I'm hesitant, not sure if it's the right path. So let's look into that for you. One second here. I'm just trying to get my cards back in my deck so I can get these ready for your reading. Okay. All right. Shayna J says she's being called to online dating. She's hesitant. Is online dating the right path for her? I'm getting a yes. I feel like while here's the thing. Because you have the Nine of Wands and the Queen of Swords, so right off the bat, I would already say, even if you told me you weren't hesitant, I would already say, oh, she's hesitant. I can tell she's extremely cautious about this. The Nine of Wands is like literally like, I have a guard up. I'm not sure if this is the right move for me. There have been good results with online dating, but I know that a lot of the times just the way people like meet to hook up, and that's not what I'm looking for. So I think that you might be kind of going a little bit questioning in your head, you know what I mean? So like what they're saying is like it's good to do this. Like, I'm getting a yes for whatever reason. This is the right path. This might lead you. Like, here's what I'm saying, Shayna J. If I get a yes, I don't really know why I'm getting a yes, but let's just put this into like a hypothetical situation. You go on online dating. Are you going to meet your husband online dating? Maybe not. Maybe so. But if not, you might meet someone and you decide to go on a date with this person and they blow you off. So you're like, great, this is just great. But that restaurant has your future husband in it. And that guy goes, are you meeting someone? And you're like, well, I was going to go on a date, but it doesn't look like he's going to show up. And then this guy is like sweeping you off your feet. And it's Spirit's divine intention to get you to that restaurant or to get you to that place where you're going to meet your person. Again, this is hypothetical, but what Spirit is saying is that even if your husband's not on these dating apps, it is getting you closer to finding that husband. So they're saying that this is the right path. There is a reason you're getting this urge, like this calling to try online dating, because your husband could be there, or this could just be the stepping stone that gets you to where you need to be so you can meet your husband. Do you get what I'm saying? So keeping in mind, you definitely want to be picky. They're showing me the Queen of Swords. Cut those bitches off. Like, if they're not working for you, if it's just not giving, if it's feeling like fake or forced, don't pursue it. But Spirit is saying that this is the right path for you. This is the next step. This is where you need to be. They're saying move forward in this decision confidently. We have the Chariot here. They're saying like just stand up, be like chin up, like be steadfast in this decision. Have courage for this. And there are happy endings with online dating. I am one of them. Now, I did online dating before it was like huge. This was back in like 2015. Things were still a little taboo. I was still young. I was 25, almost 26. Like, I didn't really feel like I was, the biological clock is ticking, but my sister convinced me to do it. And I did it, and I met my husband on it. So, there are happy endings. It's just you have to use your discernment to figure out, like, is this working or is this not? Am I wasting my time, or is this worth, like, looking into? But they're saying stay committed to this path. Stay committed to this journey. I think that at the end, you're going to be very happy with how this works out. And this is the right path for you. This is the next natural thing to try to get yourself out there to meet more people. Let me know if you have any questions about this. I know that you're very connected to your intuition, and I know that, you believe in a lot of things that we can't see or what we might not know. And so I want you to just have faith that like this is your spiritual team guiding you, and that this is like the path that you're supposed to take. Yeah, I met my first husband, father, and my children online, and I don't know, maybe if that's why I thought I should go a different route this time, but this was so helpful. Thank you. You're very welcome. And like, this is part of your life journey. Maybe your first husband didn't work out, but maybe that was just part of your path. That was just like a like point on your timeline that you had to experience for your own self and for your own personal development and spiritual evolvement. It doesn't mean that it's wrong, but it does make sense as to why you would be hesitant even more. Just be smart about it. Do background checks on people. um you know be safe. But I think that in a perfect world, I think that this could work out for you. And so just keep the faith. Be safe, be smart about it. You're very welcome. Okay. So next up, I have Inner Ancestral Whispers for an in-depth reading. Shayna J, have a great night. Can I have a love spread on Devon and I? He's a Cancer. His feelings, intentions towards me. His name is pronounced... Oh, Divon. Okay. Divon. Where am I? I lost my spot. Oh, I'm Virgo Sun, Virgo Moon, Pisces Rising. Ooh, you have a lot of Virgo in ya. Okay. Love spread. Okay, so the love spread, we answer a couple of questions here for you. Let me pull it up. So it's a 9-card love spread. We answer questions like how they feel about you, their true intentions, what you want, what they want, strengths, weaknesses, energy. If there is anything hidden, what is it? And is the relationship set up for success? So I will shuffle for you, and once I channel and get some information, we'll get started. Oh, I'm happy to hear that. Okay, perfect. So give me just a second to kind of tap into this energy here, and I will be right back with your reading. All right, so I'm getting mixed energy for you on this person. I feel like it's important that you know that like this choice is yours. I don't think spirit necessarily wants to influence you too much. I will say that this person has a lot of feelings for you. So far they're like definitely feeling you. They're like vibing with your energy. I feel like everything about you is what they're interested in. And I really do think that their intentions are to kind of win you over. I do feel like you're more hesitant than he is. I will say, I have the Two of Pentacles. So I think that you kind of want to take things slow and just kind of see where they go. I don't think you're interested in really jumping into anything right now. And I feel like they want to persevere. They want to pursue you. We have the Nine of Wands. Like they're like, they want to keep going. I do think there's a flirty energy between the two of you. And I think that you really like him. And so far, what you see, you like. But I think that he has more, I guess, intention on taking more action towards you than maybe what you would be doing. So I think that the feelings are a little heavier on his side if I were to guess, but overall it's a little more it's fairly equal. I just think it leans more in his direction. Like he's very eager is what it feels like to me. Um I think that it's important that you just enjoy the ride. You stay open-minded for anything, good, bad, or whatever. I wouldn't rush into anything is kind of what the energy feels like to me. But again, Spirit is saying they're not trying to heavily influence your decision here. They really do want you to decide for yourself. I think that what brings you guys together is that you are fairly self aware. I think the Hermit here indicates that the conversations you have might be very deep. Like you guys might talk about things that are, you know, not just surface level stuff. You guys might actually talk about things that are important to you, and that's a strength. I also think that in this connection, you would be able to keep your individuality, which might be important to you, to not feel fully consumed with a relationship. Like you feel like you can still be your own person, do your own thing, and grow and be accepted. I would say that there could be, because I do have the Devil here, and I also have the Four of Pentacles. I think that jealousy could be a big deal. I don't know if you're a jealous person. If you're like, no, that doesn't sound like me, I think he can make you a jealous person, or he could be a jealous person. If we hold on too tightly to this connection, if you start feeling like, you know, he's getting ahead of himself, or that he's trying to like pressure you or something like that, that can really make this relationship not work. So just keeping those things in mind, there's like a layer or like a background note of like possessiveness, like where one or both of you, or he is or something, is can like have very jealous tendencies. So we just want to make sure that if you notice any signs of like him trying to control you or pressure you, that may be something to just keep in the back of your mind. I'm not saying that that is the energy. I'm just saying that that could be a weakness. If we stay in the positive side of the connection, I'm just saying that like sometimes people can bring out the worst in each other. And so I like to see all sides of the situation and let you know like what could potentially be a red flag. I also feel like this, maybe you or him, might not agree when it comes to money situations. That might also be a thing. Let's see. Like you guys might have different views on money. One of you might be a spender and the other might be a saver. And so like compromise might have to happen when it comes to financial situations. You said right now we're talking, he seems cool. We laughed, joked, it was intimate. I can tell he pulls back at times. Yeah, I am hesitant because I'm not sure about him just yet. Yes, he wants to go out and take me out. Yeah. Yeah, I can get jealous and but I'm open and communicate about it. So if this is you feeling like that jealousy, you have to keep like You have to be with someone who's going to reassure you and make you feel like you're the priority. And so, as long as he is that type of person, then you can stay on your positive side. Because, like, think about it. If you were with someone who constantly made you question the relationship, who didn't reassure you, who didn't make you feel confident, who always treated you like an option, your jealousy is going to come out because, like, that person's bringing out the worst in you. But if you're with someone who calms you down, makes you feel confident in the connection, is someone that you can trust, is someone that reassures you, then you're not going to be jealous because you're going to have that type of person that's bringing out the best side of you. So that's why I am not like saying that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying keep that in mind. Okay. Energy around the relationship, we have the Lovers. So you guys seem to share a lot of like common interests. The Lovers is kind of like a mirror of ourselves. So like there's a lot of compatibility in this connection, and that's the energy. I don't think anything's hidden. I think that if it was anything, that I picked up on it, and it has to do with money. So if you're more like, you're Virgo, you're very structured, probably. You're like, okay, I allot myself $100 of spending a month, and then I save everything else. Like if you're that kind of Virgo where you're like very structured and very organized, and like you budget and you like set goals for yourself and things like that, that might not do very well with his personality if he's the type of person that likes to just spend. So just keeping that in mind, that might be a area of compromise for the two of you. I can't say right now if the relationship will be successful. I think it's still too early. So if that's okay with you, I don't really want to give you an answer right now because I have a maybe here. That's why I'm like, ooh, I think it's too soon. But let's just do this. Let's just say, is there potential, we'll say this, is there potential for the relationship to be successful? Is there potential? There is potential. I'm not going to say for fact, for certain, but I think you guys are on the right track. You guys might, find that you're better as friends, or maybe like you figure out some things about one another and you're like, no, he's a good person, but just not for me. Or you guys can see this all the way through. But I think that's why Spirit doesn't really want to give me an answer. And this is rare that they do that, but they really want you to kind of feel this out for yourself, because maybe this is a lesson that you need to trust yourself more. You need to trust that you're making the right decision. That, only you and maybe they just want you to kind of lean into your own discernment when it comes to this person. It's glad to hear, or I'm glad to hear that he reassures you and is very patient. You guys might find a lot of healing within one another as well. So I think that as long as you guys stay on the same page and at the same pace, I think that this might be a really great relationship or a really great connection for you. Do you have any questions for me? Okay, perfect. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off for now. I would love to come back later on tonight since I'm not going to be here for the next couple of days, but I think I just have to see how my night goes. You're welcome, Inner Ancestral Whispers. I'm like, I don't know what to call you. Like, it's such a long name. But you're very, very welcome. You have a great night. So, guys, I may not be back tonight. I'm not really sure how it's going to go, but I'll post on my Instagram story if I am. And I'm sure it will be a shorter stream. I probably won't be doing free readings. If I come back on, it'll be donations only, and we'll go from there. So I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your night, a great evening if I don't see you. Keeping in mind, I won't be here for the next couple of days, so you'll see me like mid to late next week. Have a great night, everyone.